Are you guys ready for your Diet Coke crack of the day? Because I got my Diet Coke right here. I'm ready to crack. Are you ready? Today we're going to be reacting to some painting videos that were recommended to me. So thank you for the 3 stream streak. Slanesh wants perfection, not clipping audio. So true. Okay, so our self-love thing of the day today is love is my birthright. Many of us are taught to look or behave a certain way to earn love or approval. The truth? You deserve love simply by being alive. Take a moment to consider the expectations you've set for yourself to gain affection. How do they influence your actions? Alternatively, think of examples of unconditional love you've experienced in your life. What emotions arise? Wow, this is a deep one. I feel like they're all kind of deep, but this one's definitely like really deep. I feel like my parents love me unconditionally. That's really nice. I'm blessed in that regard for sure. The emotion that I feel is gratitude, definitely. But I think about the fact that I work to gain affection quite a lot because like that's my job, right? I'm trying to get you guys to like me. So I think about the fact that I get anxious because I'm worried that people will get the ick from me. One of the things that I'm working on learning about streaming is that sometimes people are just not gonna like you, you know? And that's okay. As long as you're not like actively hurting people, you just keep doing you, even if somebody doesn't like you. Even if you like that person, even if you respect that person. You know. Are we supposed to like you? Oh, well, I guess people could hate watch me, but I don't think I'm really that fun to hate watch. I don't know. I've been hate watching myself for about 31 years, and let me tell you, it gets a little tiring. Remember, kill the part of you that cringes, not the part that's cringe. This is a really nice video. I have not gotten to watch her yet. I'm so excited. I'm stoked to learn more about the painting side of things. I think it'll be super fun to get into it. Woman to woman, she's so gorgeous. She used to work for GW. Oh, fun. Let me change our category on Twitch here. I know we are talking about miniatures, but let's make sure we're in the right category. She's also big into Gunpla. I love that. Ooh. Looking forward to seeing you at the Golden Demon. Sure. If you need to, you can do skateboard tricks with a little guy holder while you react. It's okay. No, I think I can focus pretty well. All right. Gunpla mentioned neurons activated. Honestly, yeah. I just got some in the mail today from XEPHER Arcade. Shout out XEPHER. So, all right, let's get started with this from RogueHobbies. Excited to learn more about her and also Golden Demon. That makes me wonder if Golden Cobra is somewhat named after this. That's a LARP competition. So, oh, she's muted. Can't believe I did that to her. Golden Demon is a painting competition that GW holds alongside their tournaments. There's multiple categories. And then the winners of all those tournaments get entered into a final painting competition to find the best of the bunch. The winner gets an actual sword trophy called the Slayer's Sword. Oh, all right. Sounds great.
Loves to have a gander at some beautifully painted Warhammer
Volume
miniatures,
good?
so it only makes sense that I also love Golden Demon. I regularly attend it, occasionally enter it, and have even managed to scrape together a handful of finalist pins in my time. And then I painted those finalist pins, and then I entered Golden Demon with the finalist pins that I won for entering Golden Demon. That's how much I like it. But most of all, I just genuinely love the spectacle of it all, and
She's
I
so
love keeping up to date
cute.
with all of the winners,
Okay, I'll turn
finalists,
it
and
up.
just the entries in general every single year. But over the years, and I think especially recently, I've noticed something change at Golden Demon. Both me and basically everybody with functioning eyeballs in the Warhammer community has noticed that recently the standard at these Golden Demon competitions has just been insanely high. Like every single year, it seems like the artists are creating these Warhammer dioramas and pieces which not only knock the previous year out of the park.
Whoa. Hold on, this is gonna look bad for you guys, but sorry, I'm gonna do it. Holy, I had to make it full screen. That's crazy, the glow? The glow? Oh, so I'm painting that next stream? Yeah. We're gonna be adding glow for sure. For sure.
But also stretch the limitations of what a miniature painting
My mind is being blown. I immediately understand why she's in love with this.
Oh, you're very funny. Did I ever mention that?
That is incredible. The thought to put that together, off the charts. That's crazy cool. The creativity there. Ooh. And the fact that it's such a scary little scene. Ooh, amazing. Golden Demon always has some wildly good painters. You participated in the 2017 one, and after they put your mini in the display case, you looked up at some of the others and immediately realized you had no chance. Aww. Well, it's cool that you entered it. I love that. You don't see his face in the reflection because vampire? Oh, I didn't even notice that detail. Oh, that's so cool. What? There's so many tiny little details. Okay. That's so crazy. Wow. And her passion for it is so immediately evident in like how she talks about it, even just her tone. So cool.
Competition can actually be. But Golden Demon didn't always look like this. In fact, the winning miniatures from the very first Golden Demons looked more like this. And that got me thinking.
Oh, no, we're going back.
Miniatures from the very first Golden Demons looked more.
Yes, the goblin green on the face. Is that goblin green at the tips? It's so good. It's unty. It's really unty. I love it. Oh, it eats. It eats. Oh, I kind of love it. Yep, love Goblin's green. It's great. That's probably a yellow as a highlight on the Gobbo green. Yeah, love that.
More like this. And that got me thinking, how did we get to this point? Like, when and how did Warhammer painters start becoming so insanely good at painting Warhammer? So in this video, we are going to use some modern technology to dive back in time through the archives of Golden Demon's history to see what high-end miniature painting used to look like and track which painting styles and trends went in and out of fashion. And most importantly, try and work out just when and how Golden Demon painters got so good. Back in time, whoosh, whoosh.
Oh, she's so cute. It's a little loud.
First of all, I want to say a quick Happy New Year to everyone watching my channel right now in 2025. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy 2025. More like 2020 thrive. No, that sucks. I hope that everyone had at least a semi-restful-ish and nice holiday season. But also, if you've never watched my channel and you're new here, then hello and welcome. I like to make Warhammer miniature painting and general hobby content and have a lot of fun doing it. So if you like what you see here today, please consider subscribing to my channel for more. And if you really like what you see here today, then you can support me over on my Patreon, which means that I will be able to make more videos like this for the rest of my life. I'm trapped here because of you. Thank you. But yes, today we're going to be talking about Golden Demon, which, if you're not in the know, is a Warhammer miniature painting competition, or perhaps I should say the Warhammer miniature painting competition, held once or twice a year by Games Workshop themselves, where miniature painters from all over the world congregate to test their mettle against each other and walk away with either some neat Golden Demon trophies or the ultimate prize, the Slayer Sword. The competition was started in 1987 by the highly esteemed founding Games Workshop visionary himself, John Blanche. And whilst I can't speak for him, I think they came up with the idea of Golden Demon to kinda add a little bit of flavour and spice to their then quite small games days, which they held every single year. And because who doesn't want to see a bunch of extremely cool painted Warhammer miniatures in one place? Like a miniature painting competition.
Wait, note how the guy holding it had metal gloves on? It is a genuinely sharp sword. Oh, and thank you, Torvard. Blanche did a lot of the old iconic art for Warhammer. Oh, he left the company recently. He defined all of 40K style. Huh, okay. I hadn't heard his name before. It is confounding that the founder, every founder of the company isn't named James Workshop. I really thought I thought they all were. Oh, they get to keep the sword. Oh, okay. Honestly, I've probably seen some of his art, but I will definitely look it
Games
up.
Workshop just makes sense. From then on, Golden Demon has been held every single year in various countries and at various events and locations, now not only located in the UK, except over COVID times when I think they had like 2 years where there were no Golden Demons held at all, because we were all inside trying not to die instead. That was fun. That was good. But like I said before, my mission today isn't to show you guys all of the latest winners of Golden Demon like I usually do. It is to dive back in time into the competition's history and look at some of the winners from the past. And to do that, we are going to be using the Golden Demon Compendium. The whole site is an incredible resource created by some very talented fellow miniature painting and Golden Demon fans, which has a bunch of cool features which allow you to do stuff like track which people have won the most trophies, look at a singular artist's entries over their entire career, and even look at entries from every single Golden Demon ever held, which is exactly what we are going to be doing today. So let's start at the very beginning, at the very first Golden Demon held in 1987.
Also, I've got to say, how long has she been creating videos? Hello, YouTube? 2 years. Wow. Only 2 years? I was gonna say, she has an incredibly good YouTube voice cadence. It's like a non-annoying Watch Mojo voice. She worked at Games Workshop before. Yeah, somebody mentioned that. She was on the Midwinter Minis channel. Oh, she used to do stuff for Warhammer Plus. She's got just such a good, like, announcer voice. I feel like that's something I think about a lot as a creator, because I have what I call a video essay voice. I don't do announcer voice very well, but I think I'm pretty good at the video essay voice. You've heard it if you've watched any of my book reviews for Horus Heresy. Yeah, I am. I mean, regardless of why she has it, it's very nice. I quite like it. Holds my attention very well. She did a lot of painting tutorials. Oh, thank you.
And cue the 80s music. I'll be dancing to this, I'm sure. The first ever recorded Golden Demon was held on the 27th of June, 1987 at the Victoria.
Are they kissing in this photo, or is that just a really weird angle? Love that.
Leisure Centre in Nottingham,
Offensively 80s
which
image,
funnily enough is where I go swimming and is literally 1 minute from my studio. Like, I can basically see it from my window. But despite the fact that the very first competition was held—
Nerds can kiss too? That's crazy. Welcome on in.
held nearly 40 years ago, things like the categories and the general setup don't look that different from the modern golden demons that we see today. There were pretty similar categories like single miniature, diorama, but with some quirkier categories involved too, like banner, conversion, and dragon, and there were awards, and yes, even a Slayer Sword winner. Also, I initially missed this during my research, but the first golden demon actually had cash prizes. Like, you could win, I think, around £250 for placing, and in this article about
That's
the
kinda
history of
fun.
Golden Demon, written by Albert Moretto Font, it says that they gave away £3,000 in prize money at this very first event, which
I guess
even by
incentivizing
today's
it, yeah.
standards seems really wild. But the main difference, which is instantly visible apart from just the miniatures themselves looking a little bit older and more dated, is the painting style, which was winning big at this event. Let's start by looking at the single miniature category so we can kind of get a taste for what was going on. And as you can see, the style at the time was pretty simple, and I mean that with all the love in my heart because I love these miniatures very, very much. And if you're sat there at home thinking, of course these miniatures look a little bit weird and maybe basic because the image quality is kind of terrible and looks like it's about 40 years old because it is 40 years old, then you are absolutely correct. So here is a bronze winning entry taken under a modern camera. And as you can see, it's very much the same style that I kind of described. It's good for sure, but it's safe to say that it probably wouldn't win a Golden Demon these days. But let's bear in mind that at modern Golden Demon, some participants have been painting miniatures, watching tutorials, and practicing their craft for maybe like 30 plus years. So it's no wonder that things have improved. Like, that's kind of obvious. But despite all that, I think that the main standout for this first year of Golden Demon was people's creativity in what was, at the time, a brand new hobby. We can see a lot of experimenting in freehanding, especially on the cloaks and the banners.
Whoa, the square
and most
bases?
of all, a lot of sculpting and
Whoa! That's crazy sick. The goop? What?
converting of miniatures. And basically it feels like there's just a
little treehouse? That's kind of whimsical. The chalice base is really rad. Warhammer Fantasy Battle used square bases? Oh. Old Warhammer was very whimsical.
whole lot of fun and
I feel like
whimsy
fantasy
going
lends
on.
itself
Like,
to that
look
more.
at this Terminator banner. It's absolutely
Aw.
hilarious, but would be instantly disqualified at any modern Golden Demon. The overall winner of the very first Golden Demon was this stunning orc chieftain on a dragon, and I think it's still absolutely wonderful in every single way,
So
and definitely
beautiful.
set the tone for the rest of the entries, which would come in the decade.
Wow. Oh! Hello. I think you're the cutest person ever. You have an infectious joy, dude. It's crazy. Oh man, I'm painting my first miniatures. Oh, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to Rogue Hobbies, Luton. Thank you. Can I, Rogue, if you have a second, can I show you my miniatures that I just painted? So I got into this hobby a short while ago. Let's see. So this was my, okay, we're not done. We just did our base. But this is, I think this is my second guy, actually. This is my first guy. He's done in contrast ultramarines. And I really like the contrast paint. These guys are going to be blueberries. They're going to be my little blueberry boys. We got the, I was very lucky. I got sent the Indomitus box set. I'm way too blessed. And so we've got Blueberry Boy Scouts, and then we're going to have our Necrons. These guys. And I'm so excited to paint them. Ah, I'm so psyched. Oh. But yeah, I'm brand new to it, and I'm having literally the best time. Chad and I were just talking about how this is all I want to do. I painted some of them before stream. It's a problem. So, thank you for making such wonderful videos so I can experience the history of it. So cool. I don't know. It's been great to meet people in this hobby. Everyone is so nice. It's been a great community so far. So I am. We're on Galaxy and Flames, baby. We're on Galaxy and Flames. I love VTubers, by the way. I would love to be one myself. Oh, actually, there is a Custodes VTuber, but the easiest thing, if you ever want to talk about it, you could get into it for $150 and an iPhone. So, you can get into it for less than that, but they're really sweet. Gosh, everyone's been so kind. But if you ever want to get into it, it's not very hard. I paid $150 for this model, so it's very accessible these days. And PNG tubing, yeah, a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for dropping by. I know the rigging on this thing is crazy. Plus, I can make myself look any way that I want. Like, we have a million different ways that I can look just from this one model. So, lot of really cool things in the VTuber space. That's one of my big obsessions is how cool the VTubing space is. So, true. Anyway, thank you for stopping by, Rogue. I can't believe I keep. Oh, that's so fun. Man, this community feels really big, but also really small, if that makes any sense. Oh. Wow. You can add hella ears. That is very true. That is very true. Let me switch this back underneath here. But yeah, loving the video. We'll get back into it. I won't take any more of your time, but thank you.
Even by the second year of the Golden Demon competition being a thing, you can really see the Warhammer fans of the time catching that miniature painting competition bug. And the small, by today's standard, amount of people taking part in the competition started to get even wilder and more creative with their entries. During the rest of the 80s, we see even more of these kind of big or very wacky conversions.
Oh! Does she link the... What is this called? Golden Demon Archive? I wish I could see that, I guess, under regular picture. It looks like pot roast. Most of these models were metal. Yeah, the ones that my brother used to have were metal. That's also crazy. That's so crazy. They would have probably been in the GW magazine White Dwarf. Oh, to get my hands on one of those magazines. Golden Demon Compendium. Right. We may have to go browse that after this. This is crazy. Oh, I don't know. It feels so whimsical. I know it's not, but... Yeah, I feel like, you know, it's the same as any internet community where it's like the people who aren't good often are very loud, so, but if you have Warhammer Plus, they have a White Dwarf archive online you can browse. Oh. Ooh. You got into it because you just thought painting little guys was cool. Suddenly, then you're pulled in by a huge local community in a town of only like 50k people. That's great. I'd never seen the dioramas before this. I think that this is... Wow, like just when you think you've figured out, like you're like, oh man, I've seen a bunch of the cool stuff in Warhammer. Then You watch a freaking reveal, and suddenly you learn that the Age of Sigmar minis are like so sick, and then you also learn that the Blood Bowl stuff is so sick, and then suddenly you're watching another video and you're finding out that you can make freaking dioramas with this. You know what? When I first got into this, people were like, "Oh, you should get into kit bashing," and I was like, you know what? What I would want to do is create create a little scene of like a titan being reclaimed by a forest, and people were like, yeah, people do dioramas, and I was like, oh, sick. I didn't know they meant this stuff. What? You've watched this video half a dozen times. It's so perfect. It's great. Age of Sigmar exists for their modelers to go sicko mode, and they did. They delivered, dude. They delivered. It's crazy. It's crazy. I need to get my hands on at least one. I want, like, oh man, the problem is I just keep going, ooh, 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 I want that one, but I gotta get through the stuff I have first. But one day I would really love to get my hands on that cool ass chariot, bone chariot thing that they showed where the skulls were inside of the horse's like rib cage and like, ooh. Warhammer World displays? Zobo, are you about to make me lose my frickin' mind? Am I about to go crazy right now, dude? The Oserk Bone Reaper Chariot? I don't know how to pronounce that. They have battles. Guys, I can't do this. The creativity is so cool. I'm gonna cry. Oh. It's like I'm being overwhelmed by how many amazing possibilities people have and how cool it is that people have spent like the last like 30 years perfecting their craft for this hobby that they love and just having the best time doing it. And I get to sit here and reap the benefits of them loving and creating in this space, and I feel so lucky. I just feel so lucky to be entering the Warhammer hobby right now of all times. Oh, I don't mean to be dramatic about it, but oh man. Oh. It's actually very popular among Emperor Children players to convert the AOS model Sigvald into Demon Princes. The forums are full of those. I'm currently working on my second. Oh. Enjoying your cake and people keep bringing more of it to the table. My tummy is so full, but I will keep eating. Do not get me wrong. My tummy can hold so much. I can eat so many Warhammer things. I'm punching the air because I like Ben Counter and his writing so much. I'm punching the air because I like the models so much. I'm punching the air because I like the people who create videos about it. Everyone is so nice and I'm having a great time. Oh. Holy shit, Zarask, congratulations. You just found your 5th edition Vampire Army book you thought you lost 20 years ago. This belly can hold so many Warhammies. Mm-hmm. Yup. Like, I don't, this is one of those, like, yeah, we got ads in a second, it'll be fine. I gotta go to the bathroom anyway. It's one of those things where I'm like, am I having too much emotion about this? Is this a normal amount of emotion to have? I would literally, this is something I would ask my therapist about. Where I'd be like, hey, Melanie, I got on stream the other day and freaked out because I thought the hobby was so cool and I yelled about it for about 3 minutes. Is that a normal reaction to be having? And she'd be like, yeah, every reaction, every feeling you have is valid. Were you upset by the reaction? Yeah. No, but also, no, I'm not upset. It's just, there's so much and I love it. I kind of want to cry a little bit. Oh. Oh, I love being excited about things. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and cry a little bit. I would just get so happy that things exist. I'm convinced one of you guys has got to be telling people about me. Scatter. Also, welcome on in, Altian. It's just a coincidence. I feel like it's crazy because like these people are so respected in the hobby and they even give me a few seconds of their time. Is so nice. Getting into Warhammer miniatures now is like finding out Renaissance art exists and people are still making it today. Yes. Yes, that is how it feels. The Warhammer algorithm is aggressive on YouTube. Who is Louise? Is this Louise? I did not learn her name. I feel so bad. Shit. What's her name? Oh, okay. Okay. Where I thought we peaked when we had the real Abelard in chat. That's true. We did have the real Abelard show up. Okay. Her name is Louise. Even her name's really cute. Stop. I just... No, guys, this hobby's so cool. Duh. The last time... I was thinking about it and I was like, have I ever felt this way about a hobby before? And I think it was with climbing that I really felt so intensely about this. You know, where I was just like, I want to climb for the rest of my life. I really do. And I feel that way. And I, like, this just, my cup overfloweth. My steak is too juicy. My lobster is too buttery. I'm living in the best timeline. We're going, what is it, Wittgenstein? Best of all possible worlds? That's how it feels. It's crazy. I don't mean to, like, hype this hobby up too much, but I feel so saturated in such a nice way. You know? It's been sick. I think a huge part of it too is that, like, when I got into climbing, I had a lot of people around me who loved it as much as I knew I was going to. And that's how it feels here too. You know, climbing, I think the reason I loved it so much was the community. Because I've loved lots of things in my life, you know? But I just, oh, I don't know. You guys are really nice. I don't know if I've said that lately. You guys are so nice. Thank you. Thank you for bullying me politely. Thank you for supporting me, for being here. You know? Finding a hobby and being met with passion is addicting. It's so true. It's so true. The people who love this so much. I'm not just saying that. You guys really are nice. Not only are you nice, you're super passionate. We chat have never bullied you, streamer, in our lives. I'm 90% sure I got bullied with a throne purchase the other day. I don't know. You guys are creative. You guys are really creative. Like, it's been great to banter with folks. Did I thin my paints today? No, but I've known painters who thin their paints and they are cowards. So, we don't know what you're talking. Wow. Oh. 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 This is heresy and I will not stand for it. Oh. Well, I hope you'll continue to love my journey into it. Who else would constantly remind you to thin your paints? That's a good point. You thought the thinned paints thing was going to show up in the... Oh. Ditters, you said your start to this hobby was walking into a game store at 12, not knowing anything, and being helped by a bunch of grown dudes for 3 hours. It's been welcoming as hell for decades, and I love it so much. Aw. Oh yeah, our game is next Saturday, isn't it? Oh shit, fuck. I gotta read the rules to the game. Oh no. Alright, let's get back to watching the video. I paused it largely because this was so sick and so cool, and we ended up yapping about it, so...
Style entries winning the trophies, like this iconic Chaos Mammoth entry, which I remember seeing years.
This is one of the models? I guess they probably don't make it anymore, but... That's crazy. Question, since lore videos are off the table while you read the books, is fanfiction in the 40k creator space welcome? I don't know why my brain just went, there's fanfiction, as if a universe this large wouldn't have any. Like, yeah, I'd be down to check that out. Core rule stream when? Don't tempt me, I'll do it, Rainer. I'll do it. I'll read that whole book to you like it's a bedtime story. Okay, chat, do I need to do smut reviews? I will review smut like it is a literary fiction book. I will do it. I'll do it. Don't tempt me. I'm getting tempted. I'm getting tempted. I've been reading AO3 for years. Welcome on in, Chromatic Prism. Do it. Do it. Ooh, I'm thinking about it. Yes, do it. Just get DK to tell you all about Ian Watson stuff? Fulgrim, ex-wife, ex-wife, ex-wife. It's slashes. You gotta do the slashes. I've got one no and mostly yeses, so... Ian Watson books are basically smut. Don't do Ian Watson? Well, that's gonna make me want to do it more. I'm so sorry. Oh, Baldermort is the 40k community's wholesome fanfic uncle. His whole vibe is like being sat down while he reads to you. Okay, why you guys are really wow, you guys are really saying no Ian Watson. Jingle jangle, we need that reaction content for a video. You're right. Back on task, kids. I'm gonna keep pausing at every cool model. I'm so sorry. Oh, incredible. Incredible. Okay. May get you a community guidelines warning on YouTube. I'm pretty creative with words.
Years ago and absolutely loving, and this immense chariot which won the Slayer Sword in 1989. I feel like now is a good time to talk about or maybe even introduce you to the concept of a golden demon meta, which in this instance essentially just means something which is impressive, currently in style, or is rated highly at the competitions, which then turns into kind of like trends that you see a lot of painters use in their entries. Think things like non-metallic metallics, plinths, and resin pours. Those are some pretty...
Excuse me? We're gonna have to go look at these. The Lord Captain's lexicon is broad and varied, thank you.
Modern examples of what people refer to as golden demon metas. And through my research...
Okay, you know what that reminds me of? This was a very controversial art piece, but the guy who put the shark in resin. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? NMM is incredibly hard to do. Oh yeah, the non-metallic something or another. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Oh, thank you for the 10th stream streak. Thank you.
I think I've deducted that the very first Golden Demon meta was freehanding and banners. These elaborately painted banners and free-handed details that we see on these older miniatures, I think demonstrate.
Ooh. Ooh. That's getting some hand flaps. That's getting some freaking hand flaps. I love that. It's like Renaissance paintings. Ooh. I love that.
Straight that whilst the miniature painting hobby in general was fairly new at
Pray for war. I'm sorry.
the time, there were still a bunch of super talented artists with pre-existing talent who were eager to transfer their 2D painting skills onto
What is that? Who is this long-legged auntie model right there? That's an Eldar? Honey, get that Eldar on a runway. That's crazy. Oh, wow. Very angry walking skeleton. I love that. There's something about that that's so goofy and yet so good. Who needs arms with legs like these? Yes.
3D miniatures, and this seems to be the way that they kind of flex that skill, which is awesome to see. But I think the thing that really encapsulates the vibe of the 80s Golden Demons, even though there was only 2 or 3, was just the strangeness of it all. Everything just seems to be really weird and wacky and funny and whimsical and creative, from the paint jobs to the conversions to the miniatures themselves. And like I've said before,
I guess I get it.
Probably because Warhammer itself was very young and still trying to work out what it wanted to be, and both Games Workshop and its customers at the time were being influenced by all the other weird fantasy tropes going on at the time as well. So let's move on now from the fantasy-fueled fever dream, which was the 80s, and see what Golden Demon looked like during Warhammer's obnoxious childhood period, the 90s.
Obnoxious childhood period.
During the 90s, Games Workshop started to develop a pretty strong sense of identity, with 40k and Warhammer Fantasy now in full swing, and concepts like orcs, Eldar, and Space Marines beginning to look like concepts.
The wings with the helmet? That goes so hard.
That we would recognize today. But how did this shift into a more thought out and rigid set of IPs affect our Golden Demon artists and the competition in general? Because time and the mindsets of people don't really reset when the clock rolls over into a new decade, we're still seeing a lot of that weird, busy, heavily...
Okay, I was like, oh, you can't pause on every single model make. No, we can. We can. Whomst is this man? This is incredible. A corrupted Wraith Lord? Why is he puppeting a smaller Wraith Lord? It's him, John James Workshop. The creature design here is literally, it's like it's punching me in the gut, sending me across the room. I feel a physical reaction to how cool this guy is. Like, I feel like I need to jump up and down. I can't. Wow! He's so cool! That's sick. That's so sick. Oh. Oh. I love it. This is very John Blanche-esque. It's a dead Eldar possessing a mech. It's just a little guy. It's just the marionette. That's amazing. That's sick.
Kit-bashed and hand-sculpted wackiness that we saw in the 80s. And good, because I absolutely adore this era of miniature painting. However, as we start to move into the early competitions of the 90s, we do see something very subtle start to change. There's less banners and more Space Marines. Nice, clean, and neatly painted Space Marines. And I don't know what happened in this year, but it feels like in 1994 specifically, something just clicked and all of the entries started to look
It's because it's... Wait, I gotta hear what she says.
kind of, well, like 90s Warhammer. The focus was no longer...
It's because I was born in 1994. I actually was the catalyst of all of this. Like the Chaos Gods, my descent into Warhammer is inevitable. So, it started in 1994 with my birth and the change of Warhammer into this, and now we have come here. So, 94, bless up. She's so old. It's crazy. The May effect. Boom. You first saw her on Warhammer's Masterclass painting series? Yeah, folks said that she used to do that. That's super sick. The year of the grimdark. The gremlin dark. Let's get back into it. Thank you for taking that little detour with me.
On these green and brownish fantasy tones and free-handed sepia banners with an almost painterly style, but now on these iconic bold primary colors with intensely
Yes! I love this model so much. Detours are so rare on this channel, it's fine. Oh, I love these guys so much.
highlights and the stark visual contrast that we all associate with 90s Games Workshop. And I think that the 40k category in the 90s seems...
Oh! Mwah. Mwah, 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 mwah. That helmet's so good.
to be the one pushing the participants away from the style that we saw in the late 80s. We see a lot more of this crisper, cleaner style with smooth gradients and sharp edge highlights in this category specifically. And most importantly, already by 1997, a full decade after the very first Golden Demon took place, even though a lot of it happened subtly over time, I think we can already see a massive improvement in the quality of the entries themselves. But whether it's because the heavy metal painters were setting the trend, or by this time Games Workshop had produced at least one book on how to paint miniatures, or because people had had 10 years to sit at home with no...
Also, one of the things, this is your era, that's nice. One of the things that I really, like, with these guys, I don't know how much metallic paint was available, or like how much it was in use, but the use of yellow instead of a metallic paint is really interesting. Because like it looks like there's metallic paint here. Yes, I see that. Did you use that? That was all you had to go on as a kid? No. They literally said draw the rest of the owl to you, dude. I'm so sorry. I mean, given that that's what you had as an 8-year-old, you did incredible. I still think about that mini you showed us sometimes. It made it so challenging, yeah. That's what you started with? Oh wow, doing it without understanding English sounds pretty hard too. Step 1, base colors. Step 2, finish. I mean, they're like, okay, do the base colors, trim. Do the fill out the details, finish the owl, you know? There were only 64 paints. Oh wow. Makes sense why I'm sorry, I forgot who said this, but the person who said they had started as a 12-year-old and they had a bunch of 30-year-olds come and help them, like, I can understand why they were like, yeah, this kid needs help. One color per Horus Heresy novel. Marine's color schemes have changed over the years a lot, so now a lot of trim has become metallic, whereas it used to be solid colors. I wondered what that shift was, and I guess we'll see it here too, happen over time. You still have some of the old paint pots that were absolutely awful and would also always try to explode when you open them. Not to brag, but did they look like this? Is it gonna explode on me? I love this paint so much. It makes me so happy once you guys were like, yeah, that's an old paint. That's an old paint, don't open it. It's so cool. Funnily enough, yes. Oh no, I hope it doesn't explode on me. Actually, hold on. Gain's going up. It's still very wet. It is still very painty. Ow? I don't really know. It's never been open. That's probably why. Like, you can still see it has the seal around it. I was earnestly trying to show you that because I do think it's so cool. I did realize when doing it that that would sound very bad, everything I said. But also, sometimes I wonder if I have misophonia. I'm also 30 years old. You shouldn't count me out either, you know? You know, I take big swings. I earnestly wanted to show you that it's still good without having to open it. I'm tentacle pink. Here's the thing, May. I rediscovered a lot of my old paints I had as a kid, but like 20 years later, 90% of them were still good. See? That's so cool. Ah, no, I don't have any goblin green, sadly. The beautiful hexagons. I mean, they look really great. I love them. Thank you, Ash. Thank you. Honestly, I think they were very good about it. They did not do it. They didn't say anything too weird. They were held to open, but that's also how they kept so well. Yours became solid wedges after a year? Huh. Welcome on in, old school. The new pots, I've opened some that are brand new, which sat on my shelf for a year or two, and they are dead, which is insane. That does sound, that's crazy. That reminds me, I need to make sure this is fully closed. It is. Okay, thank goodness. That's wild. I'm very lucky. Most of these paints seem to be pretty good. I did mix one up today. That was the Layer White Scar. It's doing good after I put one of the ball bearings in it. Or whatever they're called. One of the balls. You don't know how GW landed on the worst possible paint design? Yeah. Paint pot design. I feel like the thing I like the most about this, personally, is that you could probably write Tentacle Pink on the top, or do... Stop typing balls in chat. Or you could do, like, a good swatch of the color up here. But, because my mom said I should do that, and I was like, I don't think it would be super helpful because it's not going to show up the best way, but, yeah, the white scar did not look very good. I put it on, this guy on the back here, and you can barely see it. But, it's not chunky, it's actually too loose. So I may have to put it in the vortex. Send it to the vortex. Yeah, this one's just so cool. Sorry, had to show that off again. Thank you to my friend Ryan for sending that to me. White Scar is a tricky paint. Oh, Iron Wolf, that makes sense. You take an extra head and glue it on the top, and then you can see how the paint gets in the cracks and crevices. Ooh. It shouldn't cut. It is a layer paint. It was the first layer paint that I tried to use. It shouldn't cover that well. Okay. Poor Hammer says bold titanium white by Pro Acryl is best white. Huh. I don't think I have any Pro Acrylic. Pro Acryl. Huh, okay. Maybe I'll have to get that sometime. We've got a lot of vouchers for it in chat. Okay, I'll keep my eye out for that. All right, back on topic. Jingle jangle, back on topic.
Book on how to paint miniatures, or because people had 10 years to sit at home with no internet and practice miniature painting, throughout the 90s we keep seeing this bold and saturated style progress and become more refined and perfected by the painters. But there's still nothing in the 90s which looks anything like the gritty, realistic style that we see in a lot of modern Golden Demons, so let's try and work out when that started happening and move into one of my favourite eras of Games Workshop history, the noughties. At the beginning of the noughties, Games Workshop was a pretty well-established high street staple, and everyone either knew, had, or were the nerdy friend who painted Warhammer, so Games Workshop was kind of becoming a household name. And you can see that reflected by the fact that Games Workshop
The video Inquisitor will be showing on this screen at 2 p.m. That's a huge convention.
events were just getting bigger and bigger, as by the early 2000s they'd gone from these small fests held at local leisure centres to full-blown dedicated games days held at massive venues. But this new rise in Games Workshop's popularity added a new element.
So y'all are saying these are the Pro Acryl somewhere back here? Looks like she's got Citadel. I think these are the Pro Acryl, right? Oh, it was a Warhammer movie. Ah. Okay. Those look like the old hexagon paints. Does she just have a bunch of hexagon paints? She has a signature line with Pro Acryl. Are Citadel paints normally acrylic? I haven't learned very much about the paint types themselves. Snipe and Wib Homst have a video on Inquisitor if you want to see. They're water-based acrylics. Okay. I think it was Armor Coat. Oh, that's so cool, old. Most mini paints are acrylics. She has a signature bright pink spray primer with the company Colorforge. Oh, but isn't Colorforge based in it British? So it's like it would be kind of hell to ship to me, sadly, I think. Snipe and Wib. Okay, hold on. Doink 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 doink. Snipe and Wib. Dude, just from their profile picture alone, they look sick. Subscribing. Hi, K Salad. See, this is how you do React content. Little rabbit holes. Oh, they recently got sent a 3D printer. I wonder how that went. What's her most popular video? Old school Space Marine models, Codex compliant. Huh. 10 weird and wonderful things from Rogue Trader. What is Codex compliant? You can get Colorforge in the States? Oh. XEPHER does have her signature Rogue pink spray listed, so I'm sure he could get you some. Oh, you love Retro Warhammer, been playing 3rd edition solo, and it's the most fun you've had with Warhammer in a long time? That sounds so fun. The retrospective on old rulebook and models. That sounds sick, dude. What? Oh, there's the video on Ultramarines. I wanted to watch that one. They seemed like they might be a little goofy. It's kind of nice. I haven't explored the codexes very much. That does seem like a very interesting thing to look into. Monument Hobbies are the ones that make pro acrylic paints. Oh. They are sometimes goofy? Okay. Right. Thank you guys for that little detour.
To Golden Demon specifically, which is now part of every single competition, and that is that Golden Demon became an international competition. Using this cool feature on Golden Demon Compendium, you can literally see exactly when more and more people from outside of the UK started to travel to the UK just to enter Golden Demon.
British.
And if you're already a fan of Golden Demon, then you will know that those Europeans kick our ass every single year. So this is when that started happening, so that's fun. But as early as the year of the new millennium itself, something starts to change at Golden Demon. And no, I don't mean that the image quality of the entries got a little bit higher, though that is a very welcome addition to this video. No, I mean the painting style.
Crazy.
Because during this era at Golden Demon, things do a complete 180 from the 90s and start to get grimdark. There's actual weathering, which we haven't really seen much of before. There's darker, more gritty color schemes, and the painting style has become more realistic.
I'm sorry, that banner? That banner? That's an art piece in and of itself. That is crazy. Yeah, some dudes flex. Like, dude, that's so wild. I remember when I saw the same picture in 2000 and said the same thing. I'm flabbergasted. My flabbers have been gasted. Thank you so much for the sub, SW. Hand painted too. Don't you hate people with too much talent? That banner art's like 25 millimeters across. I am speedrunning. Maybe I don't know. Once I figure out how to paint on black spray paint, it's over. It's over for everybody. It's over. I don't know what that means, but it's over. Seeing the orc before this one was what made you pick up your first boys? Aww. This one? I love his little hat. His little hat's so cute. Well, Loom was joking that I'd join a freaking tournament. I think I'd be less likely to enter Golden Demon than I would be to enter an actual tournament. It's a good orc. It's a good orc.
In general, and more lifelike, rather than something you'd see in a cartoon or fantasy illustration. This winning miniature from 2002 especially
Everybody shut up, I'm having time with this many. I feel like I can't physically express everything this makes me feel. This is incredible. Oh. Wild. So crazy. That's just... It's still on... They're still selling that model? Do you in the video need a moment? No. It's just like when you see good art and you just like... You get kind of a cuteness aggression, but it's more like a fine art aggression. Wait till I get to modern day. I'm gonna have to like get a pillow to punch or something, dude. I'm gonna have to figure out some way. Oh, yeah? Glad you stopped by. It is still being sold. Interesting. Punch the ground. All right.
For
I'm gonna
me,
freak out
feels
about other
like a
ones.
step into a new generation of Golden Demon painting standards for the competition to come. It's realistic and gritty, sure, but it also demonstrates artistic creativity and free-handed detail on a whole new level, which is something we see more often than not in today's modern Golden Demon competitions. But what's the most crazy to me is that in the span of just 5 years, which at the time when the internet wasn't as prevalent as it is today, so trends don't come and go as quickly as they do nowadays, we see that bright and saturated 90s style all but disappear. In fact, by 2004, it's pretty much entirely been replaced with far more muted colors and realistically weathered paint jobs, which look almost modern. But one of my favorite things about this era is that we start to see some names winning their first Golden Demons, and those names will keep getting more and more familiar over the next 20 years. Now, even though I'm wrong and time has moved on, I still consider the 2010s to be like modern Warhammer, and I still think that miniatures released in 2014 were released 5 years ago, and that kind of scares me. But this is the decade where I started to
Girl, same. I double taked when someone was like 2010 was 30 years ago, and I was like, I had to think about it. I had to give it a moment. Oh, I had to give it a moment. I know some people have that way worse than me, but saying I was born in the 1900s goes hard, dude. Goes hard. Oh. You remember when they released the PS3 10 years ago? I played on a GameCube when I was a kid. I remember playing on a Nintendo 64. Ugh. Whoa. It's crazy. Goes crazy. Oh. Remember VHS? Oh, I wore out VHSs. Don't even talk to me about VHSs. Oh, I remember we had the clear, my brother had the clear Game Boy. The chunky but kind of see-through Game Boy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. We had floppy disks in my house, yeah. You've met Louise? She's lovely? I bet she is. She's got such incredible energy. I said it earlier, but it's infectious. You still have your childhood GameCube? That's crazy. The clear consoles were so peak. I don't know, I kind of liked them. I think there were times where like I think like almost a bluish, like a dark teal kind of Game Boy Color. Oh, exquisite. I had a DS when I was younger. Now I play a Switch and I love my Switch so much. Game Boy lighting attachments, yes. Matte dark teal is a color you never see anymore. I know. Wait, my shirt's matte dark teal. You have the very purple Game Boy Color. Yeah, the GBA lights, that's crazy. The OG DS model, love the DS. Sorry, I had to step away for a moment and respond to a new guestbook entry in my Zinc. God. Oh, don't make me feel so old, and I'm not even that old. Okay, one of the things, this is so off topic, but I want you guys to know one of the things that has not changed from the 90s is RV designs on like you know, RVs that people travel in, they basically look the exact same. If anybody wants to get into designing modern RVs, we need that desperately. I see a lot of RVs and they all look the exact same. The exact same. They need to figure it out. Sorry, my parents are RV people. they I've had to look at their RV for a long time. In Europe, you have a lot of different RVs. Yeah, they mostly got swooshes, like little swooshes on them. That's pretty much it. They got swooshes, swooshes in varying colors of like white, black, gray. They do still make Tamagotchis. Do they need to figure it out? If it stayed the same, it sounds solved. Nah, just looks bad. Yeah. Your dad is an RV guy too. Yeah. Yes, my favorite 40k faction, the Adeptus Arvitus. Really? They're not a thing there? Oh yeah, no, put the purple teal swish on them. That'd be great, actually. I feel like that would sell so much. Cuz my parents had the like classic windbreaker from back then. Is Rogel Dorn an RV dad? Yes. Anyway. Little tangent.
Really get into Warhammer and miniature painting, and also when I started working for Games Workshop. But I think it's also when I remember Golden Demon entries starting to get really, really good. Like, really good. People are taking this stuff seriously now and are aiming for gritty, high-end paint jobs and are less focused on things like banners, colors, and kit bashing. Now we have realistic rendering, battle damage, weather effects, and plinths. But if the 80s was about banners and kit bashing, the 90s bright colors and saturation, and the early 2000s about grimdark gritty realism, then I think the 2010s was the start of the rise in popularity of non-metallic metallics. Love them or hate them, this way of painting swords, armor, and just about everything you want to be shiny and impressive looking really set the Warhammer painting world on fire. And as early as 2012, you can see the top entries every single year, dabbling in them in some capacity. And I think it's this sudden interest in non-metallics which led into what kind of became the thing to do at
It is
Golden
kind of
Demon.
crazy.
And it's hard to explain, and maybe someone in the comments section who is smarter can do it better, but it's almost the idea of painting everything on your miniature to the 11th degree in a hyper-realistic and artistic manner. Like every single stone, belt buckle, and strand of hair on the miniature is painted with a light source, shading and highlights and some kind of effect, and it's like at this point people are painting full-on paintings onto their miniatures. I think that 2015 is a year where you can fully see this kind of thing come into play, as the top 3 miniatures in the single miniature category start to go beyond just neat and clean realistic paint jobs, and they start to demonstrate that the artists taking part are really exerting themselves and their capabilities to create incredible effects and push the boundaries of a painted miniature. And as the competition seemed to get fiercer and fiercer every single year, so the participants rose to the challenge laid down.
I love that color scheme. That goes crazy. That doesn't look real. I love that. The like technical globby stuff too. That's so cool. It is soft, yeah.
By their fellow artists, now in their hundreds all over the world. And at this time, it felt like every single year you'd turn up to Golden Demon and see something which would
That's not real. That's not real.
Wait, is that the dude who requires the bones? Bones for the Bones Throne? Such is his power. The Throne of Nagash. Bone Daddy. The vampire cape further down? Ooh. You saw this model in person? Oh, I want to see. Okay.
Absolutely blow your mind, and that you'd never have thought would be possible on a Warhammer miniature. And I think it's this
That looks so cool. Take me back. I want to see the top again. The little demons. Mwah. If you would like to know what issues with task initiation feels like, the best way for me to describe it to you is how I hemmed and hawed about watching a video today. And then the minute I started watching it, I was like, "This is the best! I'm having the best time ever! Woo!" That's like that's what executive dysfunction looks like. It's just sometimes it's real hard to start a task. Do you know what I mean? That is literally, you watched it happen live. You watched it happen live. Oh, even if it's something like I know I want to do. It's so silly. So if I ever hem and haw about something, I will probably do it not too long after I hem and haw about it, and then it'll be fine after that. Doesn't mean I don't want to do it, it just means getting started is sometimes a little bit hard. Oh yeah, especially at work. ADHD gang. Represent. Later. We're procrastinating on the representation. Yeah, I think I've gotten a little bit of paint inertia right now, but this has knocked me squarely in the yelling about how great minis look. So, such is the power of Nagash.
year, you turn up to Golden Demon and see something which would absolutely blow your mind, and that you'd never have thought would be possible on a Warhammer miniature. And I think it's this perfection of craft mixed with this spirit of competition which has carried Golden Demon into where we find it now in the Roaring 20s. Not those 20s, the other way, that way. So at this point, we are in the 2020s. Like, right now, we're in it. Welcome to now. And it kind of feels like the standard at Golden Demon couldn't possibly get any higher. I mean, just look at some of these winning entries from the last couple of years. Like, how could they possibly be improving on this? And I think the answer to how the Golden Demon winners are gonna start improving on perfection is that they have started to expand their creativity outside of the bounds of the miniature itself. And that sounds weird and confusing, so let me explain. We all know these guys can do non-metallics and insane freehanding, but what about resin pours conducted in science labs, entirely doubled and inverted entries which create a mirror effect, or impossible rendering on scenic dioramas which look like they are straight from a video game, and incredible large-scale original miniatures and even busts sculpted and painted by the participants themselves. We're currently in a Golden Demon timeline when we're seeing the participants going above and beyond
hold on.
just the miniature.
Shut up! That's a Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
No! No!
That is so cool! Diorama made to look like a boo!
Oh my god, they gotta stop being so cool.
They gotta stop being so cool. Oh my god. That's not a magazine cover, that's minis! That's minis! I'm screaming, I'm crying, I'm throwing up. Oh my god. I love that. The creativity is off the charts. I'm gonna be thinking about that for days. That is bronze for that year. That's not even gold. That's... oh. That won bronze!
Demon timeline when we're seeing the participants going above and beyond just the miniature itself for their Golden Demon entries and starting to...
Okay. This won gold. This won Slayer Sword.
think of the entire pieces as opportunities to flex their creativity. And I think that this is particularly apparent, especially when it comes to the modern style of basing. Long gone are the days where just a plinth is considered to be fancy, because now these elaborate scenes
Oh. Oh.
scenic
That's
sculpted
crazy.
and hand-painted backdrops are becoming more and more commonplace and popular amongst the top winners. And I've seen a lot of people online kind of saying they don't really like the way that Golden Demon is headed, and that Golden Demon should primarily be a painting competition, so they would ban things like kit bash miniatures and resin pours and things like that, so that the judges could just focus on the most important thing, which is the painting. But I personally really like this massive explosion of creativity that we've seen at Golden Demon recently, and it always has me so excited to see the next Golden Demon.
Each
So
of these pieces
let me
took
know in
200
the
plus
comment
hours.
section
Makes
what
sense.
your opinion is and how you would run the competition, and also what you think the next big Golden Demon meta will be. So to round up this little look back in time, and to kind of highlight and celebrate how far some of these Golden Demon participants have come during their illustrious careers, we are going to use this fun little feature on the Golden Demon Compendium to take a look at some of my favorite winners' first miniatures and compare it to some of their latest. And I think that
That's
this may
so
end up being
fun.
my favorite part of both the video and all of the research that I've done, because it's so important as creative people who are trying to improve our craft to remember that nobody gets good overnight and perfection can take decades. So sorry if this embarrasses any of you Golden Demon painters, because here we go.
Okay, 2015 and 2023. The 2015 is off the charts too, dude. That's crazy. This model just goes hard. This model goes really hard. Is this a Slanesh demon? Yeah, the silk trousers are crazy. Ugh. Yeah. Ooh, I called it. AOS Slanesh? Ah. Yeah, the texture on it is crazy. Look at those grippers. Oh, getting to compare two orcs? Oh, just the shading, the palm color difference. Oh. Oh. It looks so real. Just casual 23 years worth of effort. Oh, Breaking May is entering GD this year now. Stop. I can't do anything like this. You kidding me? You kidding me? This is crazy. Wait, this is the one that the first winner? Oh. The difference. Not yet, you can't. Ah. Enter GD so you can have an excuse to see all the cool models in person. That's not a bad idea. This is the same guy. What is that, 34 years of progress? I've seen it. I've seen the great unclean one. Yeah. This is... Wow. I mean... I love it. I love it.
And with that uplifting bout of inspiration, I'm afraid that's all we have time for today. As usual, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for being rogues. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Bye, bye, bye.
I loved that. I want to watch every single one of her videos. That was amazing. I loved that. Getting to see the past like brought to you with such care and joy is so incredible. I love it. I love it so much.